Alright, good morning gamers. Welcome back to Time Theft Wednesday. Today, I'm working remotely, and they released a new press release for Octopath Traveler Zero. We got a lot of stuff going on here. So, first of all, there's a couple of articles. Apparently, Octopath Zero was at, like, PAX West or Gamescon or something. I don't know. Anyways, there's a lot of ads. So, RPG Site and Nintendo Everything have articles, press releases for Octopath Zero. We got some new stuff. I read through it a little bit. We got shit like this. I don't know what's going on here. Oh man, what the? That's so low quality. Can we like get a bigger image? Look at this shit. There we go. Like that's insane. Like they were fucking cooking on this. Like this is a burned town under tight. Like this is crazy. This is the I think the artwork for the redemption path. Essentially, like, if you don't quite, if you don't remember or if you weren't there for it, basically, Octopath Zero is a set storyline, right? It's not 8 separate characters. It's not like 3 different story quests like CFTC. It is like, well, it's 2 essentially, like storylines you can choose to path down. Either the story of revenge or the story of restoration, right? The revenge being Tytos. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna have spoilers. You clicked on a video about Octopath Zero. There's gonna be spoilers about Octopath Zero. Sorry to say, but Tytos burned down our main character's village, Wishvale, and that character wants to exact revenge on Tytos, or you can choose to restore the Wishvale by building up the town and all that stuff, right? So, story of revenge, yada yada yada. We actually have some interesting information. So first of all, we're getting the voice actor for the 3 masters. So we have Herminia's voice actor, who I don't know who this is. Is it the same? Yeah, same person. Cool. I guess we can look to see what they've done. Oh, that's so many ads. Oh, go away. Oh god. Oh my god. They were in. Wow. Okay, that's cool. They were in Pokemon Horizons the series. They were Tulip. That's cool. So yeah. So Marissa Lenti is playing Herminia in English. Yada yada yada. This is all pretty much. If you played COTC, it doesn't look like there's anything different here. Eric Ransom is playing Tytos, who he's from New Jersey. Fatal Fury, the Attack of the Ads. Anything else here? Nothing that I recognize, but, you know, W. If you recognize any of that, then, yeah, it's sick. Okay. Yep, sure does this. Yeah, essentially, yeah, if you played COTC, then this is new stuff. And of course, the man of the hour, August. Michael Mishkin is known for Everspace 2, Pokemon Masters, and Sharkbait Dating Sim. That's awesome. Alright, well, let's hope that, yeah, I don't know, you can do some marvelous shit. Anyway, so, actual stuff going on here. Well, that's not true. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I hope the voice actors pop off. But new characters. New characters. We knew about these guys. We knew these guys were going to be in here. New characters. This guy's Celsius. His special energy or special ability is making you stay up for 6 hours past your bedtime and giving you a heart attack. He's a thief. They have the splash art for him, official artwork, and he's working as a bodyguard in Valor. Valor is one of the woodland towns in COTC. It's actually the one that, if you know Bargello and this family are the mafia members in Valor. So that'll be interesting to see if maybe anyone from that story is prevalent here. It doesn't look like there's anyone in the artwork that I can recognize. But they actually give us a little blurb on each character, their job, their art, a little bit of conversation piece, and then their ultimate technique. So this guy, his ultimate basically gives him insight, or gives him like provokes all the enemies, which I think we saw provoke being used as a debuff rather than insight as a buff. But yeah, essentially all the enemies will attack him, and it gives him a couple of sidestep charges. This might just scale with the level of the ultimate, like we established before. The ultimate levels make the skill stronger. I mentioned the Octopath 0 website in a previous video. Unfortunately, this hasn't been updated as the time of recording. It might change, so if you're watching this maybe like a few days after I've released it or anything like that, like if we go to Travelers, there's like nothing new. It's just the same 4 characters, yeah, right? But yeah, I would definitely check this out. You know, jp.squareenix.com/octopath0. If you actually go here, I thought it was somewhere on here. Maybe it's wait, was it in here? Because I also saw this one. I swore I like nope. I don't know. Okay, yeah, jp.square/enix.com/octopath0. Check it out. Maybe there's new stuff. If there's new stuff, then yell at me in the comments. But yeah. So essentially, this guy becomes just a dodge tank with his ultimate, which I imagine the number of sidestep charges increases with the level of the ultimate. We've established, because we've seen that like ultimates have like levels and stuff. In the previous stuff, yeah. See, they have level 2, level 3 abilities. So I would assume that like this number of sidesteps probably increases. Maybe even the turns of taunting as well. So Macy. Apothecary, new apothecary. I think we've seen another apothecary by the... Oh no, this is Macy. We've seen Macy. Nope, but not on here. We've seen her as a... Actually, yeah. So we've seen Celsus and Macy as characters. I was like, these names are familiar. We've seen them as sprites and as characters. We know their names, we know their vibes, but we don't know... this is the first time we're seeing the splash art. So this is Macy as an actual character. She's visiting Emberglow. She's generally easy, considerably serious when it comes to combating disease, refusing to let the matter go. That's pretty cool. So she's Emberglow. These guys might be like the first 3 in the 3 towns. So this guy's in Valor, Mace's in Emberglow, and then maybe Alexia is... Well, this looks like Theatropolis. This looks like the place where you fight the battle-tested book NPC. So, yeah. I imagine these are the 3 characters that you'll see in the first chapters of, like, Master of Power, Master of Wealth, Master of Fame areas. People are pinging me, but it's okay. Cool. Yeah, okay, so her ultimate technique, Prism Mist, grant a random positive status effect to all allies. This is interesting because here it's just granting SP, so I wonder what is a positive status effect. Because if I read this just as is, as a description, I would assume that it's like a buff, right? But it doesn't mention giving SP and also doing that, so that means that this SP must be that positive effect, which means maybe you can give SP, HP, or BP, or something like that. But it's random, but it also targets everyone. This is something that we're probably going to have to be, like, see a bit more of to make actually, wait, let me see something. It looks like there's 2 arrows here. A friend of mine actually, told me about something after I released the previous video, which is that some of the buff icons seem to have multiple arrows, whereas some only had 1 arrow, implying that maybe there's, like, stronger buffs. in the game, um, which is really cool because like one of the things about like Champions of the Continent, if you haven't played Champions of the Continent, one of the big thing is that every buff, instead of just being a flat 1.5x multiplier to your damage, is like a percentage. Every buff will have a percentage. Like some characters have a skill that gives like 10% physical attack. Some characters have a skill that give 20 physical attack, all that stuff, or 20% physical attack, right? And you can like these buffs. Like a big part of the game is like stacking the buffs together to reach like a cap of 30%, and then trying to do that for as many buffs and debuffs as you can. So it'll be interesting if they like take that aspect and bring it into this game with having stacking buffs and debuffs potentially. So that'd be cool. That'd be cool because that's one of the biggest like depths added to TOTC, and like the biggest like thing with team building and battle planning and stuff like that is like finding a way to weave in all the buffs and debuffs that you need to like reach the caps to do the most damage that you can do. And the numbers get really fucking big over there. So so it's like a big thing. But that'd be interesting. I'm curious to see what Prism Mist actually does, because this is not a very helpful screenshot. We do see that the squirrels are back, so maybe we get these nuts as an attack in the game again, but I'll have to hold out on speculation until we see for sure. This is Sally. I think we've seen Sally. Although this person is called Alexia. They might just be wrong. Hold on, wait. Let's see if this article mentions Sally. Oh, they just don't. Oh, wait. I'm stupid. Okay, my bad, gang. Alexia, Alexia. Yeah. So shout out to all the people that wanted a female scholar in the game, because we finally do. So I guess got a male hunter, I guess. In the form of Fen, I think his name is, right? Or whatever this Google machine translated option will say. Oh, come on, you got this. It's struggling so hard. Alright, I don't have the patience for that. Anyways, Alexia. Researching in ancient civilizations, she has recently hit a dead end, but hopes the following protagonist will lead her to a breakthrough. So this is interesting. So her ultimate technique is ancient magic. First of all, it looks really fucking cool. Big ass circle. Deal massive non-elemental damage to all foes. So this is interesting because like non-elemental damage, for the most part, has never been like particularly strong. Well, actually that's not true, right? In Octopath 2, there is a skill that does non-elemental damage, and it's pretty strong, but that's because of particular like aspects of the skill that make it strong. Like it pierces a lot of enemy defense, and has a high base damage. But because of the nature of the game, when you are sufficiently strong, it is better to use like regular spells that can be boosted by elemental boosting weapons. Like if you're familiar with like the end game of Octopath 1 and Octopath 2, you know that like a big part of elemental damage dealing is the elemental boosting weapons, like Tradewind's Spear, Herald's Sword, Heathcote's Dagger, etc., for Octopath 1 and Octopath 2. It's stuff like you have Sunshadow Staff, you have Fire Starter, you have there's just so many. There's so many in that game. Moon Eater Dagger. I don't know why I'm trying to list them all, but yeah. You can even do triple weapon, or 3 times stacking. Like you can equip 3 of a particular potence element boosting potence. Wow, there's a lot of words coming out of my mouth. They're not really working, but yeah, you know that the stacking elemental boosting weapons is like kind of the end game for Magic, and that's like how you do it. It's like how you find yourself doing a lot of damage. So being non-elemental means that it doesn't benefit from these boosting weapons, but also means that it's possible to just have a really high base damage and not be like broken, right? So that's kind of the way that the skill worked on Octopath 2, and Yeah, Octopath in COTC, a non-elemental weapon or non-elemental damage sucks because enemies take bonus damage from weaknesses even when they're broken. So not hitting weakness just means you're doing half the damage that you would be otherwise. The only like even like remotely, first of all, there's like no instances of non-elemental damage. There's exactly one that I can think of, and it's Ophelia EX from the Final Fantasy IV collab, and she was like kind of middling to begin with. Yeah. So it's like non-elemental has never been like meta, so to speak. That being said, it's a single player game and like it doesn't really matter. If it works, it works, right? So interesting. Also, it looks cool as hell. So that's cool. Anyways, Viator. This is actually I don't think we've seen this guy at all. And he's got a bird, and is he fishing? Is he got like a fishing line? Is that what we're doing here? No, he's sewing. Oh my god. Oh, he's wow, he's so delicate and sensitive, and he can make crafts. What a nice guy. And he likes birds. Good for him. With gentle demeanor, he's the son of a swordplay instructor and is searching for a certain sword, following a tradition passed down for his family through generations. Wow. He's looking for a legendary sword. That's cute. Ultimate technique, fluid stance. Deal damage with equipped weapon 2 times when evading or parrying attacks. So just a counter. So it just gives him a 2 charged counter. That seems kind of mid for an ultimate. Maybe the counter is really strong. Now, okay, wait, hold on. Hold up. These buffs seem interesting. I feel like I've seen this before. I mean, this is the BP regen, part of the symbol, right? Like this circle with the up arrow, that's BP regen. And then these two are like critical. That's what my vibes tell me. It's like that's kind of like the dead aim buff. Right? So like so I wonder if it's like on critical hits you get BP back, but also this SP maybe on taking hits. Maybe this is like on taking like okay, well, like there's certain skills in the game where it'll trigger like in COTC, right? There's certain passive skills where when you get hit by an enemy, it has a chance to trigger an effect. One of them is 2B from the Nier Automata collab. DLC. From the Nier Automata collab, she has a skill where when she gets hit, there's like a 30% chance or something like that for her to dodge, and then she gains 1 BP afterwards. So maybe this is something similar to that, because it did mention that when evading or parrying attacks, so I do wonder if these have to do with dodging or parrying or something like that. But also when parrying, so maybe he has a base wait, I think I misunderstood. I think I misunderstood what this meant. I think it means that so this is what it probably is, right? So Viator, these passives probably give him innate counters, and Fluid Stance enhances those counters to attack 2 additional times. Actually, the fact that this S is in a parentheses means that I feel like the amount of times that you hit with your weapon increases as you level your ultimate, right? I mean, I'm assuming they just like ripped this straight from the game, so I imagine that's what that means. But that's just a guess. Obviously, they could have just put this in there for shits and giggles. But I think, yeah, I think Viator's ultimate essentially enhances his counterattacks to be stronger, rather than just giving him extra counterattacks, which could make him really interesting as a shield shaving unit. If you can like give him taunts and he can hit the enemy weaknesses, then he just like hits 3 shields every time the enemy attacks, and like bosses that attack multiple times, like that's just like they're cooked. Like that's like 6 shields on their actions, and then you can attack with your other units. Holy shit. Ludo is a merchant. He looks to be I don't know. He's just from Sunshade. Actually, this is a character we'll talk about later. But for now, he is a merchant. His ultimate technique is enervating thrust. Deal polearm damage to a foe. If broken, lower shield points of target by 1 upon recovery. Wait, what? What? Wait. Okay. It's not that crazy. It's not that crazy. It's an ultimate, which means you can't use it very often. But if there was a way, if you use this against an enemy with 1 shield point, would they just be broken back to back? Like they would just immediately be broken upon like shield recovery? So that's pretty. This screenshot really encapsulates my brain when I write that sentence. Okay. So that's neat. It's okay. It's not anything crazy, but it can help for sure. Like deal some damage and also like some utility, in the following turns. Because I can't imagine using like an ultimate like this against like an ad with only 1 shield that like they don't just immediately die, right? So that's interesting. Okay, cool. So systems. So we know that the game has a town building system in it, right? Wishvale is like the recovery of Wishvale is like what half of the game is focused on. So you kind of got the Stardew Valley stuff going on. This is interesting. So here, as you rebuild the town, you can construct various facilities by building a hub where you can cook, fields, and a ranch for harvesting and gathering various materials, as well as a shop. You can expand your item lineup with information gathered on your travels to even obtain special trade goods. Each resident also has skills that are useful to the town, so be sure to assign them to the most suitable location. So this is interesting, right? So Fen is running the hub in Wishvale. So this kind of looks like an inn that's also a tavern. So you can cook, rest overnight, change out your party, restore reputation, or leave. Resident skills. So we have Fen, who's working the counter. Marginally lowers the cost to restore reputation. That could be like that seems really good. And also this guy. Well, this guy. Seldomly increases the number of dishes created. Okay, so they can have like different effects on like the stuff that you do. This is really cool. So, let's see. These are all characters that we've seen. Yeah, Alexia, Laura, yeah, cool. This guy's got a lot of money. I guess they're all level 45. This seems like kind of an end game scenario. But, yeah, okay. So they're saying that, so by building a hub where you can cook, right? So that's what this is. Fields and a ranch for harvesting and gathering various materials, as well as shops. So this is basically like, I think this makes sense, right? So like the idea is that they kind of give you a choice of like what you want to start with first. You can either go on the revenge path or you can do like the restoration path, but they all they correspond to each other. Like I'm sure like as you go on the revenge path, you can meet more characters to add to the town, but as you expand the town, you can get more items that can help you do combat and beat the shit out of Tytos, right? So like it's interesting. It's interesting to see like what could be the case of each like what like each path has to offer, because unique items are, like if you're familiar with the Octopath Traveler series at all, you know that equipment is like the most important thing in the game. You could beat the game with both games you could beat them with like level 1 characters, as long as you just have like the right equipment. So it's interesting because like if that's the case, then like this might make like the town building like very very like integral to progressing the main game, because you can just like get like stronger weapons and stuff like that. Like that's like the big thing. I guess also something that I was gonna mention and I forgot to do it. Talking about like the elemental boosting weapons. There's no elemental boosting weapons in COTC, right? like they have like they kind of revamp like that like elemental boosting effect into like a passive buff system, which also follows the same 30% cap that the other buff systems do. So they don't have it for like stored in like the weapon, right? First of all, because every COTC character only has one weapon, and secondly because like yeah they exist in the accessory slot instead. So it'll be interesting to see if this game follows that suit, where they have like elemental boosting accessories, which in that case, if there's no buff cap, that could be really really big. And that could be a really really impactful item, yeah, like equipment upgrades that you could get. Fields, there's a fish. It's a farming game. You can cultivate basils here. Basil raises the chance for a bigger yield, and this lady marginally increases production speed. Like that's cool, right? Like you can like manage NPCs, and like yeah, like you find these NPCs probably through like going down the story progress, right? And you find new NPCs in the towns, and you recruit them, and all that stuff. And you can like path action them. I think we established that, right? Like there's path actions in the game similar to COTC's path action system, where you have to use your reputation, or sorry, influence. And like the way if you're unfamiliar with COTC's path action system, essentially there's 3 influences: power, wealth, and fame. Big surprise. And those, rather than like levels or or like there's still like chance to succeed, money, or whatnot, but every path action has kind of like a risky option, and the risky option gets better the higher your influence is. And you gain influence through. I mean, hold on, wait. Let me see if there's just a screenshot here somewhere, so I don't have to like. Oh, I did not read that as Ilfrix. Oh, that stuff. Let's see. Someone mentioned path actions in this. In OT0 path actions. Oh, wait, there's just, they had it on Twitter. Cool, okay. Here, so let's just do that. Yeah, essentially, right, so, oh my god, what the hell. So basically, you have wealth, power, and fame, right? And these are like influence levels, essentially, so having a certain level of power allows you to, contend with these guys and like take their items and shit like that. You can impress. So usually, in COTC, like yeah, so each NPC has a associated influence, right? And then that allows you to like use specific path actions. Like otherwise, like if they were wealth, maybe you had to like hire them with money to bring them along, or like pay for their items. But because this guy's power, you can just beat him up and take his stuff. So, in COTC, you gained influence mainly through characters. Leveling up characters would reward you with influence. Doing character stories would reward you with influence. Doing some quests would also do that. Story quests in particular were a big upgrade to influence. But yeah, it's interesting because a lot of the, like, Octopath Travelers, like, COTC started off with, like, 64 characters, right? It's, like, 8 5-stars, and then fill in the rest with 4 and 3 stars, right? Because it's a gacha game. But, it's interesting because if there's less characters, I wonder how, like, influence systems will be balanced. If you'll still gain them from completing the story, or different quests and stuff like that, or if they're purely going to be tied to like characters again. Like the more characters you get into their town, the higher your influence rating, because that could make it more like linear in like how you can actively like get new NPCs to your town. Because if you can only progress through gaining new characters, then and certain characters require like a certain level of influence, then like maybe it causes like a linear like path of like characters that you need to recruit to do it. Or they could just have more ways of like gaining influence that's like not shown off yet. So that's cool. So that's something to think about, I guess. Yeah. So basically, being able to recruit the characters to your town is like a whole process that you gotta like think about, because they can help you do stuff. shop in Wishvale. So we got Ludo, that's the guy we looked at earlier. You can buy trade lists. Tressa's here. She marginally raises the chance of stocking rare trade items, and Ludo raises selling prices. You can buy trade lists, regular items. You can sell. You can change your equipment. This is like this is just like an equipment store. You can view your trade list. So it's one. I'm curious how like the trade lists specifically. Special trade goods. So these seem like the real big ticket items maybe. We don't see much about what it could be, but maybe these are like assignments or something that like you buy a trade list and then like over time they'll bring items to you. I wonder how they'll if it is something like that. Like in most mobile games, you know, you have like a daily system of something where it's like you buy or like you put money into something or not, or sorry, you like maybe you like assign like characters to like a quest or whatever, and like, oh, they'll be back in like 20 hours or whatever, and so you come back the next day and then you do it again and all that stuff, right? Or maybe it's just like a collect it every couple of days kind of thing. But or this could also be like if they don't want it to be like a mobile game, right? If they want it to, they don't want players to like have to put the game down and then come back to it later. They could do something like oh, this is actually maybe I shouldn't mention. There's another game that I played that does something similar, but does it in a way that doesn't have you leave. Essentially, it's like, hey, the more you progress in the game, like it's like a number. It gives you like a timer. A timer number is like 30, and like it's like, okay, we'll progress through like 30 rooms in like the main game, like the main like run of the game, and that could do it. So I wonder like what would count as like progressing time in this game. Also, we see a character is locked. Actually, wait, hold on. Enough speculation. What is enough speculation about that? Let's look at speculation about this. So this guy has a quest, but the quest is locked. So I wonder if we need to buy. Maybe we need to buy certain trade lists. Oh, I accidentally lowered the sensitivity. Maybe we need to buy certain trade lists to unlock quests, or maybe quests are unlocked by something else. I don't know. These characters are level 45. I don't see what could possibly be being locked, but this is interesting, right? It's like it could. What could this be? Like it's a side quest on an NPC within Wishvale, but they're locked. Maybe they have like a condition. Like you go to them and they're like, hey, you need to like, I don't know, do something. Incredible analysis, I know. This is the kind of quality content you come here for. So that's interesting though. It could be adding like another layer to the to like the quest systems in this game, because side quests tend to just be like go do a path action and then come back. Some of them are pretty interesting though, like in Octopath 2, some of the side quests revolve around the day and night system, and that can make them more interesting to think about. Like there's like there's like two people that like were going on like a date or something, I don't know. They were like meeting for dinner or like lunch or something. But one of them thought it was at lunch and one of them thought it was at dinner, and so like if you're there in the daytime, one of them there, and if you're in the nighttime, the other one's there, so you gotta like allure or like grab one of them up with like an allure or guide or like hire or befriend path action, and then bring them to the other one by changing the time, and then they're like, oh my god. So like that was cute, but like for the most part, like they're nothing too crazy. So I wonder if this is like a multi-step quest line, and it's saying like, hey, you gotta complete this other quest first before you can access this one. So much to think about. Action skills. Okay, cool. So this is like the thing we were talking about, right? So we don't think that there's like sub jobs in the game, right? Like if you kind of look at these icons, you can kind of notice that there's like equipment, there's learned skills, but there's no like change job. You know? Like there's like change characters, maybe look at character info, maybe like settings, but there's nothing that like there's like a map, there's like whatever quests, maybe journal, but there's nothing that like, you know, changes the jobs of characters. Um, and there's also like the learned skills that we saw characters have in combat. We can't really see it here, but yeah, there's like the learned skills on the previous trailers, stuff like that. So that implies to me that like most of the stuff that you see, like the most of the customizability comes from this learned skills aspect of it. So now they're gonna talk about action skills and mastery. Mastery items can be obtained from time to time and allow for interchangeable skills that can be used in the action skill system. If you build a training ground in town, you can train your companions and master their skills, and even equip them to other companions. Customize characters to make them uniquely your own. Okay, so this is essentially like what we thought was going to be the case, right? Or like the training grounds is cool. That means that there's like a certain thing in town that you can do, you can build to facilitate all of this. But yeah, so train your companions and master their skills and equip them to other companions. So that's like kind of the idea. So I think this is like the idea that's replacing sub jobs, right? So I think like the concept of sub jobs in the other games was like, you know, a character learns like a scholar skills, right? But instead of this case, because there's more than one scholar, then you learn Alexia's skills, right? Because she can like teach her scholar skills to like someone else, and yeah, and like that sort of like replaces like the subjob system. Like we don't see the outfits as much, or like at all, with this kind of system. But I do think it makes like a lot more sense for like for having like 32 characters or whatever the hell in this game, right? Like that's kind of, it feels almost kind of necessary. Like you can't be making eight unique sprites and outfits and like animations for 32 characters. That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, so this, we see Stia, our girl, battle skill mastery. So, let's see, allow for interchangeable skills that can be used in action skill system. I don't know what they mean by this. If this is not just like using skills in combat, that seems like a little bit like that's not a system. That's just like the combat of the game, right? Like I don't really know what they mean by that. But I wonder if mastery just means that like she can like this means that she can now teach first aid to someone else. And I wonder, yeah, like but this isn't the learn skills menu. This isn't in the training grounds. It's just in the main menu. You can see the side menus and all this stuff. So it's interesting because like, is this her just learning the skills to begin with? No. This is held. Wait. Held. It's saying held 5. So you're holding 5 first aids. But you can get mastery items. But they also require JP. So it's interesting. This is the same JP that you need for that you need to like learn to like actually be able to use the skills. Like my question is, are these 6 skills usable in battle right now for Stia? Or does she need to master the skills in order to use them? That I feel like that doesn't like make sense to me, but also we're in the learn skills menu, so it doesn't. Maybe in learn skills there's like it's like learn skills, change skills, or change support skills, and then like there's like mastery. So maybe this is like using mastery while also using JP, which is interesting. So we see a couple of things, right? So like support skills, we have incidental heal, max SP plus 50, elemental defense plus 50. Surely these will have new names by the time the game fully releases, because kind of cringe. And then you have Unsung Hero. We also see her ultimate technique, Full Shear, which is the SP and BP regen. But we also see Stroke of Genius. For those of you who either didn't play Octopath 2 or don't remember, this skill sucks. It's kind of ass. So it's essentially it's one of Oswald's EX skills, and it just gives him random buffs. No, sorry. No, Stroke of Genius isn't that. Stroke of Genius is a is one of Scholar's base skills. I lied. Me when I tell falsehoods. But it still sucks. It doesn't change anything. It's ass. So that's unfortunate. I'm sorry, Stia. Ow! Oh, okay, so, well, maybe if I, like, you know, look forward a couple seconds without spending, like, 20 minutes analyzing one screenshot outside of the context of the next screenshot, here we see Zero, the main character, using First Aid, which I assume happens after we master First Aid with Stia. We can teach the First Aid skill to another character. Okay, so these are probably, okay, I see what it is. So we probably need to learn the skills first, and then we can master them. And that means we can teach it. That's why Grand Distribution is grayed out. That's probably also why Ultimate Technique... Well, it's already learned. So, yeah, whatever. And then maybe we can also... So we can probably do this into support skills, right? So similarly with... Essentially, yeah, it's the sub-job system, right? So every character can learn any support skills and whatnot. So, cool. Ultimate Techniques. Okay. Powerful ultimate techniques appear in this game. The protagonist can learn these techniques as the story progresses, while other characters can learn them by training in the training ground that we've established before. So the training grounds need to be like the main way that you're like progress characters' skills and learn sets and stuff like that, and like customize your builds, essentially. The ultimate technique gauge has several levels, and when it is filled to its maximum, the technique can be activated at its maximum effect, level 3. Right. So we've already established, yeah, ultimates have hyphen with an F. Ultimates have like levels, right? Like I start at level 1, then you get level 2, 3. I'm waiting for it to come back. Okay, well, you know what? That animation was too quick. Whatever. New tactical element. So okay. The protagonist learns these techniques as the story progresses. So I kind of talked about this with some friends after the video, but I think what the case is, so the protagonist starts off with Aelfric's favor, right? We talked about that in we showed that in this. Zero gets Aelfric's favor as the first thing. We talked about special moves. Yeah, restores HP and abnormal status effects for either frontline or rear line characters. As story progresses, special moves are unlocked, right? So we talk about that more here. I mean, they don't really talk about it more. They kind of just say the same thing. But I guess they specify that it is ultimates, right? So what I think it is that so like in COTC, basically you essentially start collecting like rings of the gods. You start off with Aelfric's ring, and that lets you do the gacha pull, and then the masters of power, wealth, and fame all have god rings from themselves. You know, it's as expected that Tydos, you know, has the ring of Brand the warrior. August has the ring of Aber, the Prince of Thieves, and Herminia has the ring of Drifendi, the Huntress. You know, that makes sense, right? So, we have all those, and I think that like maybe as you beat, and in CTC as you beat each of them, you gain the rings in an inventory. Like you can't actually use the rings for anything. They're just like key items that just sit there and tell you that you've completed that part of the story. But I wonder if in this game, then they will be less than just key items, but they'll give you the option to use different ultimates as things go on, which means that, you know, we gotta just beeline for August, kill August, and then get Aber's, and then win the game, right? Because then we'll do like infinite damage. This is cool though. Wait, we haven't seen this before. Oh shit. Yeah, warrior, merchant. Wait, thief, apothecary, hunter, cleric, scholar, dancer. I mean, that's like the weapon order, right? Sword, spear, dagger, axe, bow, staff, book, fan. Even though like the weapons obviously aren't single weapons anymore. But we can see their skills and their stuff. This is probably like when we're creating the character, right? As the story progresses, the protagonist can choose one of... Oh! As the story progresses, the protagonist can choose one of 8 jobs to pursue. Bang. 3. Excuse me. There might be another one coming. Maybe not. Okay. There are different weapons and skills you can choose for each job, so you can choose one that suits your playstyle or consider a balance between your companion's job. The choice is entirely up to you. This is cool, though. Also, you get to see all the different outfits. So we do get different outfits for Zero, at least. Which is interesting because you can customize them, right? So I wonder if they did them different, like, styles for, like, the hair as well, and, like, different, like... Because I think I remember, like, you could change, like, your skin tone, you could change your hair, you could change, like, your body type, and all this stuff. So this is where all the sub-job, budget went towards, was making all the sub-job outfits for Zero work. Dude, I keep thinking like it's gonna happen. Oh, wait, it's happening. Wait. Okay, cool. So, we got some screenshots. These actually just look like all the screenshots they showed us earlier. Some of the sprites. That's cool. Yeah, so that's it for this one. I'll have this linked in the description below if you want to read for it yourself. Although, yeah, maybe there's something that I missed. Who knows? But the other one was this one from Nintendo Everything. I didn't read through this ahead of time, but I kind of skimmed it and it didn't look like it was as impactful, or as like in depth as the RPG site one. But it did look like. These were the only 2 articles I found on this, so I decided to just cover it anyways. This is talking about story of revenge. Having lost your hometown, you want to kill this. You're voiced by you. Oh, interesting. Because I know Herminia's Japanese voice actor is actually passed away. I forget. It was like somewhat recently. It was like within the past year, I think. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in Japan. But we do have a completely new voice actor for English. So that's cool. Master of Power, Hero. This is all kind of the same. Companions of your adventure. You have Celsius, who competes with caffeine for your heart. Okay. So this is interesting. This is actually very... Oh, okay, I didn't notice. So this is actually really cool. Let's see. Okay, so there's nothing different on Celsius, but Macy's ultimate randomly grants one of the following effects to all allies. They messed up the formatting here, but I think it's just these 4 effects. So, recovers the BP of the entire front and back rows. Recovers the SP of the entire front and back rows, right? So we saw that Macy targeted the whole party with her SP regen. So that seems like a really big low roll. 50 SP, kind of not that much. Grant the entire party HP regen for several turns. That seems pretty cool. Recovers the ultimate technique gauge for the entire party, except the user. So obviously you can't spam ultimates back to back. But this one, and kind of this one all seem kind of nutty. So like if I had to rank these, like I feel like this is like peak. This is like really, really good. I guess this depends on your team roster. Like if you have Fen on your team, you could just combo the. I mean, this just seems really strong because every character gets their ultimate. That's like really, really good, right? And like BP is also really good, but you don't need to use BP with ultimate, and then like you gain BP on the turn that you spend ultimate techniques. And also, if you have Stia on your team, then ultimate is BP for your whole team. So like, yeah, like this is really good. This seems okay. I feel like regen isn't going to be as impactful on this game because it'll probably happen after the character's turn and not always at the end of the turn, which means that sometimes you'll get you'll like have the character act and then the boss will act, or like the enemy will act, and like you won't heal after the enemy action with regen, so that might not be like fantastic, but it's definitely better than this. So this is like honestly like the worst part of this. If this ultimate was just like, or if you could choose, dude. Oh, I mean, if you could choose, it's kind of maybe if they use different resources, because something like Casty Concoct, but oh my god, I wonder. So maybe as Macy unlock or like levels up her ultimate, more of these random effects happen. Like maybe it's like at level 1, it's one of the following effects. At level 2, it's 2 of the following effects. At level 3, it's 3 of them. Oh, that would actually be sick. That would be really cool. This could be really, really strong. I think this is something to definitely look out for in the game, to see like how Macy's ultimate scales, like, or at least like as more and more information is released, to see like how this scales, because this is just really, really good. Especially if a certain character by the name of Solon has his Champion to the Continent kit in his ultimate. That could be really, that's just a thing to look out for. This could be like a return of Solon and like Prim EX strategies for those who are familiar with like the COTC meta, at least a couple years back in JP and like somewhat recently in EN. But yeah, so Alexia, these must not also damage to all foes. Okay. These are the same text as the rest of it. Ludo, by 1 upon recovery. I wonder if like leveling it up increases this number. It could be cool. Don't think it's gonna be like anything too crazy though. Systems, town building. This is literally the same exact text, I think. Yeah, each resident also has skills useful to the town, so make sure to assign them to suitable locations. So that's pretty cool. Action skills. A new feature of this title. Master items can be used to master skills, and those skills can be then taught to other characters. Customize characters to make them uniquely your own. Ultimate techniques. Powerful ultimate techniques can be leveled to level 3. Protagonist jobs can change. Screenshots. This looks... Oh, okay. Imgur album, and it looks like it's all the same. Let's see. This all looks like they got the same images from the press release as everyone else. Okay, cool. Wait, actually, well, let's just in case. You never know. Maybe they sneak something in at the end. Nope. Cool. Okay. Oh shoot. Here, let me save that so that I can link. I'll link both of these in the description. And now we got to the thing that really surprised me today, which is that apparently Octopath 0 was at PAX West. And some people got to play it. Whatever. Should have been me. They also got some gameplay from Square Enix. I went ahead and looked through some of these because I don't want to just like play these people's videos without like, asking for permission. But I do want to because like basically I looked through a few of them, right? So we have so David's RPGs, Just the Gems, GameSpot, Switch Corner, Noisy Pixel, and Nintendo World Report. I watched through all these videos. And they all seem to have this. They've all got to play the game themselves, but it looks like the gameplay that they're showing on screen that was recorded by Square Enix and was like their own separate thing. So some of them, there's like a couple things that I want to go through each of these. So, we have like a lot of them show off the battle system. Well, this is just gameplay from, actually this is from previous trailers. So this is interesting. So they have the whole, I don't know why it's so zoomed out, but here's Sunshade. For those of you that didn't play COTC, you might not realize that there's actually a whole right side to Sunshade. They don't show that in Octopath 1, but yeah, this does exist in COTC. We have some interesting gameplay. We can't see half of it, but that's okay. So, some enemies here that have some shields. They are weak to spear, so the protagonist, as a warrior class, gets to attack the spear to hit the weakness. They dodge, which it's funny. It's like watching like a scripted event happen, because I'm like, yep, they attack with the spear, then they roll attack, then they dodge the roll attack, because that's what all of these all of these videos had happen. But it's actually interesting things to note here. Hold on, there's a better, because every one of these guys did this battle, right? Okay, so they have this. Oh, can we? Hold on. I'm switching. I'm jumping perspectives. Oh, we'll get to that. Hold on, wait. Let me get back to this battle. One thing at a time. Okay, cool. So, interesting thing to note. A couple of these buffs, right? So first of all, it looks like we have this to me looks like Celestial Intervention. It's the down arrow with an X next to it ×3, kind of saying no debuffs. We also have that on Macy, so maybe this is some sort of passive that we have on both of them. We also have Tressa's Hail half SP cost. We have HP regen. We have the buffs that we saw on. His name starts with a V. Viator. Where the hell am I? On Viator, the buffs that we saw him earlier. We see that Fen has a counter buff. So that's interesting. This is also an interesting one. So.
Our session.
Oh. So incidental analysis. Hold on, wait. Let's run this back, right? This is from GameSpot. So first of all, yeah. So we see the staff weapon from Alexia the Scholar. She attacks twice, doesn't hit the weakness. Incidental analysis comes out and reveals the weaknesses of both enemies. Well, probably just the one that she attacked. And then because they're the same enemy, it just applied to both of them. Okay, sorry. But, that's a really interesting one, because I think, it depends how this works, right? So incidental, reminds me of incidental attack from Octopath 1, where if a thief used or it's a thief passive, right? Where if you use a debuffing skill, targeting an enemy, there's like a 50% chance. There's a set chance that they will attack with one of their weapons, essentially just shaving a shield. And it's okay. It's nothing great, especially because passives in that game include shit like BP Eater, right? And Patience. So it's like it's kind of not that impactful to use. Also, it's like unreliable. So it's sometimes it puts you in a position of, oh, I just lowered the enemy's shield down to 1. I want to debuff them, but I don't want to break them. So I have to either risk not breaking or not launching incidental attack, or I have to like defend and waste a turn next turn, so that if I do break them, it's at the beginning of a turn, all this stuff, right? Like, so it's interesting if incidental analysis is just like random, because this is like, it kind of helps with like how Analyze is bad, and they're realizing that Analyze is bad with every iteration of the game, right? Basically, why spend a turn revealing weaknesses on an enemy when you can just hit them with a weapon, with a weapon or an element, and then you can reveal more weaknesses that way, right? And also potentially shave shields. So with incidental analysis, it looks like, yeah, you can still just hold forward and press buttons, and still have maybe a chance, or maybe just guaranteed, to reveal weaknesses anyways. It just has a passive effect that just happens, which I think is pretty neat. There we go, so this one. Cool. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah. So she also, this incidental heal also shows up. So this heals her for about 300, 318. Maybe it's a percentage of her max HP. Maybe it's based on her elemental attack, something like that. Who knows? Yeah, but here's Alexia. She attacks, and then incidental analysis comes out. There you kind of see it. Let's see if this shows it as well. Yeah, so here you can sort of see the back row HP and SP recovery. It's not the most. I have this on 1.5 XP, that's why it's faster, right? We can slow it down if we want to. It's not the most clean animation, but you know, it's still an early. It's not fully released yet, so I kind of get it. But that's sort of like how COTC's regen system, back row regen system works, right? Like at the end of the full turn, after everyone's taking their action, the back row gains 10% HP, 10% SP, which is nice, especially because in that game you don't have items, so it's harder to like keep characters like topped off. So that's like basically like the replacement for that. Yeah, so so in these, basically they got to experience the a little bit of the town, and they also got to play a quest involving the guy Ludo, right? This merchant in Sunshade. Essentially, it's like it seems to be like a recruitment quest of, hey, we want to get this guy, we want to recruit this guy to Wishvale, but he wants us to do something for him. So he's like, okay, well, if you want me so badly, like there's these worms or these lizardmen in Sunshade that are they're blocking my trade path, and you gotta help me out. Okay, here, let's oh, actually, a few things here, right? So play party chat. We definitely, that means that we're gonna travel banters back or something similar to that, right? So it depends. Maybe it's like the characters that are in the town can participate in the party chat, which is cool because COTC doesn't have this, right? I mean, it has like infinite characters, so it's kind of hard to do all that. But I love travel banters. It's one of like the coolest like aspects of characterization in the Octopath games, because they're just like fun little chats that characters have with each other, and it's just like kind of like, it feels very like real. I feel like they just like kind of talk, they kind of just yap with each other, and that's very fun. I'm a big fan of that. So, and I know it's like a big fan favorite aspect of them as well. People love talking about different character interactions with party chat. They love talking about how gay the characters are in the travel banters. And like, yeah, there's like no heterosexual explanation for like Ophelia and Hanet's travel banters, and like I think it was Ophi's chapter 3 or her chapter 2, whichever one. They call each other like beautiful. Hold on, wait. This is a quick educational section. Wait, Octopath Traveler travel banters. This is a quick. I'm pretty sure it's one of Ophelia's stories. It's one of Ophelia's chapters. I think it's chapter 3. No. Wait. There you are. Oh, this is her getting flustered. This is Hana getting flustered about Ophelia saying that she had great fortune of meeting her. Wait, then was it Hanet's story? Hanet chapter 2. I can't read. Ah, yes, here it is. So, in several ways that she maintains, she's a noble and beautiful woman. Would that I could be more like that. I know what you mean. She's role model to us all. Truly, even to a beauty such as thyself. What? Oh, come on. You're more beautiful than any of us. We should spend more time together. What do you say? I'd like that very much. Like, literally, there's just lesbians happening on screen. Anyways, that was your education for the day. So yeah, so travel banters are awesome, right? And the fact that they're in the game is cool, and that's really sick because they didn't show that anywhere else. But here we have like Stia in one of the houses, which is pretty cool. Fuck! Wait! No, come back! Come back! What was that? What was that? What was that? Don't you dare take away that menu from me. She has a workshop. Oh, it's probably just like the aspect of town building. Maybe she can do stuff to the town building. But this is the construction menu. We've seen this before. We're moving the houses around, but this is like the actual aspect of it. So you can see the house has housing, and we get housing the house. So time gives a stone supply, and you got other stuff like metal supply, stone supply, med supply, leadership with 0, leaf gift, seasoning gift, arsenal supply, timber supply. Oh, we get guns? What do you mean arsenal? No, like obviously, like it probably means like weapons and stuff like that, right? So this could be like a way for you to like gain more items and whatnot over time. Is like the characters and whatnot, like the NPCs that you put in each house and that you like recruit. That's pretty cool, and it kind of looks like, yeah, there's a lot of like, different customization stuff. So if you're big into like Stardew Valley, Roller Coaster Tycoon, that kind of shit, then like this is gonna be like crack for you, right? So that's pretty cool. Here's the menu at the end of the dialogue box at the end of the quest line. So you get Ludo, and you get a little splash screen of the things that he does, right? So he gets a Spearhead skill, similarly to Octopath 1 Spearhead. You have also Appraisal, which shows weak points and possessions of a foe, which I think is really interesting, because like a lot of times people doing like the first playthrough or whatever don't consider the fact that sometimes you can steal from bosses, and sometimes it's really good items. Sometimes stuff like pomegranates, sometimes stuff like refreshing jams, sometimes stuff like physical and mental belts, which if you don't steal them from Primrose Chapter 4, good luck farming the NPCs for them, because there's no better physical accessory than the physical belts. At least with mental belts, you can just sort of cope and say that you are just going to use your sorcerer and just get elemental augmenters for them and call it a day. But yeah, for physical belts, it's a little cooked. But yeah. So being able to see that is like it's pretty cool to me, and I think that's like really valuable in a first-time playthrough. I think this will be really good. Also, learn support skills that increase item drop rate, because I think this is something that like is not, the people don't like think about too much. They think like, oh, like item drop rates, like random encounters will drop like, you know, materials that you can grind for, whatever. It's not about that. So the bosses that drop like a unique weapon that you don't get if you don't steal from them, or the bosses that drop like revitalizing jams and that you can just like get more of, right? Like that's the stuff like that is like kind of important and like kind of like good. So being able to like do that and being able to steal items from, or being able to like say like, oh, this boss has like a spear, you can steal from them, and maybe you can get multiple of them. Maybe you know have snatch and you get 2 of them, and then they also drop 1, and then all of a sudden you have like a ton of this like really strong weapon, right? Like I think this is gonna be way stronger than like analyze or like study foe for like a casual like first playthrough, blind playthrough of like not knowing stuff. Because weaknesses you can eventually figure out, but an item an enemy has, if it's a boss, that's one time and it's gone, right? So maybe I'm like overselling this, but I think that this is like really, 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 really good. But oh, okay, we figured it out. I didn't notice. So yeah, interesting. Okay, so your influence does increase as you recruit characters to your town, right? Because that was the menu where we just got Ludo, and then we ranked up wealth, because so he has wealth attached to him. And it looks like that's it, yeah. Okay. So then you have some chests here. Stronger Strikes Mastery, interesting. Okay, so that's, I mean, that was a passive in Octopath 1, right? The the Sorcerer passive, that increases your damage dealt to shielded enemies on their weaknesses. wasn't like particularly helpful. Maybe they changed it in this game so that it affects the enemies when they're broken as well. I think that could be cool. But yeah, so they're mastery items that you can find in chests, which like doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But okay, then you have materials of wooden, whatever the hell. Anyways, yeah, world map, quest, journal, items, healing skills, equipment, skills, form, party, status, other. Right. So there's no. You also have your influence down here. Characters around level 30. So this thing, it's danger level 29. It's interesting because we can see here. Oh wait, earlier. We can see here that we have Kindlers to the Flame Chapter 3. So I guess we can kind of assume that that like, yeah, that Chapter 3 means that we're gonna be like around level 33. Maybe it's because like, you know, Chapter 3 for the Kindlers with the Flame, and then the Chapter 3 for like other stuff. But we can also see that we have Agapeia, or the Center Island, unlocked as a location, which means we probably visit this maybe in like the late early game to like early mid game, because that's kind of like the area where you're at level like 30 or so in the main series games. But it's also worth considering that like this game is just gonna be, it's so long because it's doing all of COTC's like Orstera's story, right? We've already established that there's a lot to that. There's like the whole Master series, Master of All, the whole Bestower series, and then Bestower of All. So like it really makes you wonder, like just how much like content is going to be in this game, because like for all things, okay, yeah, so Kindles of the Flame level 28, Chapter 3 is level 28, right? So they probably expect you to like bounce back and forth between the Restoration and the Revenge plot, but yeah, so like if this, let's go back to like the full scope of this game for a second. If they're doing all of COTC's story, which they announced that they are, like the developer said, this will encompass the whole like Orstera side of the story, which includes everything. We saw Heaven at the start, and this guy actually clipped it at the start, or brought the used the clip. It's not showing up on the scrubbing, but you believe me. What the? Okay. Yeah, like this is gonna be a much longer than the other games, especially in terms of like gameplay wise, because like the end of Bestower of All is like recommended level 100, right? Like it actually wants you to like max out your characters. Granted, that's because in that game like it's really easy because, you know, we had a lot of time between as new chapters released, and like getting to max level was kind of required for a lot of other end game content, like the arenas and like the battle tested and like level 100 NPCs and stuff like that. So it was kind of expected that you would have a maxed roster of characters, but in the main series games, that's like not the case, right? So it's just interesting to see like how they would work that. Also, we can see that they haven't been to the Flatlands area here. They haven't been to at least Atlas Dam, or even like north of like Ripple-Tide area. We can also see a couple other things, right? So we can see they haven't been south. They've been to like the second tier of like Sunlands area, Sandlands, Sunlands, right? Whatever. They haven't been to the second tier of Riverlands. They haven't been here. This area is like blocked off. There is a map actually. Hold on, wait. Let's do what I do best and just completely stop what I was doing and find a map. Someone posted a map in the Discord. Wasn't there a better? This looks really dark. I guess this is it. Okay, cool. So, map. So a couple things to note. We got Barricane over here, but also, this section actually has like a whole village in it. We can see that it's sort of blocked off here. They haven't been to this section. It could be Riven, like Riven's capital, right? Like Riven as a town is talked about, or Riven as like an empire is like talked about in COTC, but never like we never go there. Because this is Clearbrook, right? Like this is the small town that Alphen starts off in. This is a big bustling city. Ish. Big bustling town at least, right? Like there's like a lot more stuff going on here than there is going on here. So that, and a lot of people were saying that this is probably Riven and this is probably Donescu, which are both towns in COTC. Riven is like a kingdom, has a king, and it has Riven. Nope, he's Richard. His name's Richard. In it, so I wonder if this is a part that we go to in maybe Master of All section of the game, and that's why like we're not there yet. In this section, because maybe they're still on the on like the Master Series quest line, which is interesting though because we do see a couple things actually. So first of all, we see the big town in the Highlands, which actually makes me believe that this is not Cobblestone, right? Like this, like Cobblestone is not a big town. The town that Ulbrich started in. What is a big town though is whatever the hell this one is called in COTC. I'm literally just loading up the game because I don't remember what it's called. It's like, it's not Crackridge. Crackridge is from Octopath 2. Crag's Spear is from is the other one. Anyways, this is called Shepherd's Rock. So that's what this town, I believe, is. Yeah, because you can kind of see that it's like on it kind of has like a castle. This is the town of Solon. Solon's a kingdom. That's the town that he, or like the city that he rules as king. I believe. Ruler of the Highlands Kingdom of Altinia. Right, so Shepherd's Rock is like the main city for the kingdom. That's the one that you visit in it. We also see this, right? Okay, so this icon is used in Octopath 2 to denote when a town has a port. Now, this means that it's the same sort of system that we visit Agapeia or... well, Agapeia we only visit later, right? We visit the other place, which is called... the Isle of Orsa. I don't know why I forgot what this was called. But yeah, we visit, like, the Isle of Orsa much earlier. Like, in Octopath COTC, it's a danger level of 23, so it kind of makes sense that we're doing level 29 stuff, and it's already been, established, right? So, but this means that Ripple-Tide is still going to be, like, the way that we access it, similarly to Octopath in COTC, right? That's pretty much everything that we can... Oh, you can't hide from me! Let's see what we can find. So first of all, it's that resources can be collected from the Field of Wishvale. So something similar to, like, Nameless Town, or maybe after you do, like, certain quests or whatever, like, you can regularly collect... Partis the Third! Sorry, wait, okay, one thing at a time. So, resources can be collected from the Fields of Wishvale, right? So, like over time, you can collect... There's Partis in the game! Master of all! Yeah, so we can see sort of that there's, like, sections of the map that haven't been, like, uncovered yet, and we can probably see, like, this is, like, maybe, like, where Wishvale is at. But... we see the quest for Master of all. King Partis the Third? Dude, give me the frame between these two. But yeah, so this is the town of, Edoras. The town of Cragsphere, which is in the kingdom of Edoras, that is ruled by King Partis the Third. So this is... Yeah, that's him, alright. I wonder what the quest is. Maybe it's like confront. Maybe it's meet with him. Maybe it's escape him. But yeah, so we can see. So then we kind of have an idea of what the levels look like for this, because this might be the start of Master of All around level 30s, which makes sense. Or maybe in the middle of it. Master of All ended in COTC at around level 60. That was like kind of the idea, because 4 stars could reach level 60 without having to be like limit broken, right? Which required you to take time. So essentially, you could sit down and just go through all of Master of All without having to be like time gated by any like mobile gacha elements. But yeah, so it's interesting to see like maybe where we're at with that, because if Isle of Orsa is also a level 23 area, then that means that like the beginning of Master of All is post Isle of Orsa. So this is probably early to mid, maybe like chapter 2 or 3 of Master of All, because there's 8 chapters of Master of All. But we do see a couple other things. We see Theatropolis. We see the manses. One of the manses is probably August's Villa, which actually I think we can see on the map. Oh, not really. Not that well. Wait, wasn't August's Villa in the Leaflands? Am I dumb? Wait, yeah, Theatropolis just has amphitheater, backstage, and then... Oh, okay, yeah. So, where the hell are we at? Yeah, so these are just the amphitheater, because in COTC it's also, like, the same thing. Yeah, this is, like, very similar to the town, right? Like, this dungeon here is the Ember Glow Laboratory. This cave here is the Ember Glow Slopes. We have, the Cathedral of Tytos here. And the thing next to it is, oh, Bestower of Fame stuff. Okay, so that makes sense, so that's not there. Interestingly enough, oh, never mind, this is just the same Snowshade Grotto as in COTC. Up here, it looks like Snowbloom Ruins, but it looks like there's like more of a town there. So there's more stuff going on. In here though, we can see the 2 villas. We can see Herminia's manse here, and then we see August's Villa here. So if we move over to the map, we can sort of see those more... I was gonna say more in detail, but that's not really true. You can sort of see the house of like Herminia's manse here, and then you can see August's Villa here. But yeah, we sort of see those being like confirmed, so to speak. But it looks like Wishvale is actually very far to the north, which is very interesting to me, because this is about the same area as Victor's Hollow in the arena, right? I mean, it's more to the north of it, but we can also see there's no path going to Victor's Hollow. This cave should be like, well, it kind of corresponds to the Great Trees tiers, which is the level 61 dungeon in COTC. But, which normally would be the dungeon outside of Victor's Hollow and, like, correspond to Victor's Hollow in terms of, like, equipment, and, like, enemy materials and stuff that drop. But, yeah. So it's interesting that this is far up here. But yeah, let's see what the map looks like up here, right? Yeah, like, you don't see... Actually, we kind of do... Wait, hold up. Part is the third. Oh, I see. Maybe it's... Yeah, maybe... So, no, this actually makes sense. So this is a different route to take entirely. You go over some mountains and stuff. That's actually really cool. And then this crossing here leads you to the Victor's Hollow area. More to the left of the map. This is just sort of like jutted in to the right. Whereas Victor's Hollow usually connects to the Frostlands in Octopath 1. The route to Victor's Hollow, if you just go to the right, that's how you also get to Still Snow? Nope, that's Octopath 2. Snow? I forget. I forget what it's called. Fuck! Primrose Chapter 2. But yeah, right? Like, those are the 2 ways that you can go. Whereas in this, it looks like it's gonna be separate. Like, you can go to the Frostlands by going through Wishvale, and then Victor's Hollow is something else. Although, actually, maybe this just goes farther north, and then has a path that crosses over, Wishvale. Although, that's not what it looks like in here. It looks like there's nothing really more north than the Wishvale area. So maybe it's just Victor's Hollow and this is the arena and it's just more south and then Wishvale is more north. Which is pretty interesting. So we're back to Wishvale. We brought Ludo. And he's doing some stuff. Yeah, I don't wanna like play their audio. That feels incorrect. Oh, this is really funny. What the fuck's going on here? So, this is if so if you know COTC, if you played COTC, you're probably looking at this scene and going, "What the fuck?" Because I also looked at this scene and went, "What the fuck?" Herminia chuckles. You mean the Chaos Emeralds? Like that's so. This is I think this person kind of looks like Finis, but maybe this is just someone that Herminia has. Not that I'm looking at it more, right? Because at first I was like, why the fuck is she talking to Finis? But I think as I look at this more, Herminia, this might just be like one of her like workers, employees, we'll say, that aren't paid very much. So this is her probably in a backstory on a quest to obtain the divine ring of the Huntress, which is cool because COTC's way of handling this was stupid. But a lot of the bestower stories felt so shoehorned in, like all of them. It all felt kind of stupid. But so I wonder if they're gonna give like more in-depth backstory, because this does not exist in COTC, so we're like expanding more on the story of the masters, and whatnot. Okay, so it probably isn't Finis. So because I don't think Finis would work for money like that. But yeah, so they probably have like an informant or something like that. Anyways, here's a Fine Sand Ruins. This is a thing. Oh yeah, and we have, you can't see because of things blocking the way, but these items, when you pick them up, here, let's see. When you pick them up, they show on the bottom right. Yeah, here we go.
And these extra care.
Oh. Yeah, so you can see sort of collected stone, lumber, cloth as you go through. Surely there'll be some way to like automatically collect these things. Maybe you can get an NPC to do it for you. But yeah, we still see that play party chat option. That Square Enix is just tainted. Yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit, but you can see the play party chat that they're just like tempting us, saying, "Hey, you could do this, but we're not going to show you what it looks like yet." So that's pretty neat. And then this is like, yeah, this is more of the construction stuff. Okay, cool. So this is the combat. So first of all, we can see Fen has a dead aim buff, which actually we can see a little bit more of in some of the other videos. We do see some of the skills as well. So we see Provoke. Fuck, I can't see shit. So we have Talon Strike, which is on V8 or the Warrior. This is cool though. So you've seen this animation before. This animation, if you play COTC, you've seen this animation before. It's on Lars, aka Wrath, aka Earhart. Sorry for spoilers. But Earhart's playable in COTC, and he's named Lars for some reason. But he has a skill called Wild Blazing Blade, I think, where it's a 5-hit random target sword attack, and it has this animation of slashes like this. Like, this is the exact animation that his skill has. So I'm going to assume this is a 3-hit random target skill, similarly to Earhart's skill, which is pretty cool. Let's see what else we got in here. Yeah, so this is, oh, actually, so I guess this is something interesting, right? So, like, you don't see these in the main series games, these elites guarding a chest, right? Like, that is, that's, like, not a thing. Enemy overworld sprites are, like, weird. They don't exist in that game, right? In those games. In COTC, this is very common. Every region will have dungeons, and every dungeon will have elites blocking treasure chests. Some of them will be higher level than normal than like the surrounding areas. Some of them will be around the same levels, and depending on that, you'll get like, you know, the rewards behind them will be like stronger or whatnot. CTC also had like quests and feats for clearing out those elites, but they yeah, they're not always. Oh yeah, sorry. So we'll have to see how that like transfers over to this game, because this game doesn't seem to have feats like that. Anyways, they got a surprise. Those were removed in COTC, but I'm glad they're back because they're always a little fun. Get your free guaranteed fleas. If you didn't know that, if you ever surprise an enemy encounter, at least in Octopath 1 and in Octopath 2, you're guaranteed to flee. So, yeah, go ahead and try it out in Octopath 0 and yell at me if it doesn't work, so that we'll know they changed the system. So we see a couple of skills from 0 here. So Assault is now an AoE spear attack. So Abide, Spearhead, Helm Cleaver, Counter, Posture, Assault, and then Upending Strike or whatever. We got a couple things. So we do see that Incidental Healing doesn't proc there. But she also... yeah, so like it seems to be like a chance to happen, right? Anyways, here's the quest with Ludo. There's Lizard King, and it's Lizard King X. Holy shit! Okay, so we get to see, yeah. So this makes sense, right? So in this stage in the game, we're around the Master of All. So we have defeated Herminia. We've defeated Tytos, Herminia, and August, and we kind of see them here. So we have Elfric's Favor, we have Drefendi's Rage, Brand's Blade. No! They didn't change it back! Dude, what happened to Brand's Thunder? I'm so sad. Anyway, so we have the old divine skills. It looks like we have Brand's Blade. Can I read Aber's? Ugh, not really. Anyways, probably it just deals massive damage. Drefendi's Rage level 3 for the ultimate. Well, that was a pretty cool animation, but it only hits once, so it's kind of cooked. Maybe you gain Drefendi's first because it's the weakest of the 3, as is known. But, yeah, so we can see a couple things. Oh, yeah, well, this is Viator's skill set. We see that he still has the dead aim. But, sorry, I'm teasing my friend who likes, who is a big fan of Pardus as a character, and I just told her that Pardus is in the videos. So, wait. What do we got here? Stout Wall, Provoke, Focus, Twin Bash, Avenging, Triple Slash. Okay, well, we do have a good amount of gameplay here, which is really nice. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So we saw that Incidental Analysis procced off the regular skills, as well. We do also see that the enemy, like, names show up at the start of the turn instead of having to, like, specifically select them with an attack, because that's something that's just like a different thing, because in Octopath 1 and 2 we've always had to like select an enemy with an attack to see their name to like view their health, more or less. So it's pretty neat that it's just like kind of showing up. I don't know why you would switch off the character that has max BP, but okay. Oh hell yeah, get him girl. Bang. That's my goat. I'm already calling him Alexi as my goat. She got double hit dark. That hell yeah. Wait. Oh, so we can see he's using an axe skill. Or no, he's using an axe attack. We can't really see much about the menu, but that's okay. The strength to protect. Okay. So we kind of see... Yeah, so we see that, he gains this physical attack buff. There's no turn duration on it, which is interesting, but it does have a little, outline around it. A circular outline. So this could mean a couple things. So it could mean that it's like temporary, right? Like it only lasts for this turn or something like that. That would be kind of weird. Why not just put a turn duration on it? The other thing, it could be considered a passive buff. We could have the COTC system where passive and active buffs attribute to different passive and active like buff categories. Sorry, passive and active skills attribute to different passive and active buff categories. That's the case, right? Like if he has a counter skill that gives him a physical attack buff whenever he gets countered or whenever he gets attacked, that would be a passive buff in COTC. So it's yeah, it depends. Maybe that's the case. Bro's saying something. We're running over to Eastern Sunshade Sands. This is cool though. We see a hidden item. Bro, they didn't pick up the hidden item because they hate us. But yeah, there are hidden items off the map. You can actually see them in other videos that actually show. So this is the mini map, right? You can't see the mini map in the other one because you can't. And it's like kind of more detailed, I would say. Oh, wait. Where is the... Yeah, so you can kind of see... You can see the hidden item on the map itself, right? Actually, this is like not like particularly... It kind of looks a little like unpolished, but you know, the game isn't out yet, so... yeah. Oh, here we have like a path action example on some of the NPCs in Sunshade. I don't really know why the map is or the camera is so zoomed out, but you can inquire for stuff, and you can actually see some items that you can purchase. So like a rice seed, dark amulet, freshly shorn fleece, slippery nut M. The nuts being actual like stat nuts again is interesting because they didn't have those in C2C, right? But we also have so many characters that like it's going to be, oh, I'm never like these are never being used. These are existing purely in my inventory and nowhere else, right? Like I can't imagine using them on a character and then you end up just like kind of not using them at the end because like, yeah, I don't know. We do see standard price and high gold price with a success rate. As I mentioned, like you can do like risky options with different path actions, and depending on your influence level, the rate is higher. You can see this guy's level of 22, so like the rice seed might be a quest item for one of the Wishvale quests or whatever, and it's like it has a lower chance of being succeeding with something like the slippery nut. You can reduce dark damage. This is a thing that you just like get the money for, and then a nut. Cool, and then you can invite this man if you wanted to, but you don't. I guess that's okay. Here is cutscene for a quest. Yeah, at the start of Kindlers of the Flame Chapter 3. Complete the lizardmen infesting the trader out. Right. Okay, so they're kind of showing you the quest line to get Ludo. This is really nice. There's a lot of gameplay that they're showing here from the Square Enix given stuff. Even if we don't see like a quarter of it. One might even say one of the more important corners of the screen. That's okay though. So Ludo's here, so we're going back and we're like talking to him more. Okay, so he comes in and helps them out. Oh, that's hilarious. He just like spreads money at them, and they get distracted. I thought that these beans have been attacking people and robbing them of their possessions. Collected them just like trophies. Damn. Okay, so we see the buff icon on Fen again. I think that's the same clip that we've seen before. Ooh. Yeah, there's like some of the animations are a little bit like like unpolished, but I do think that like, you know, the game isn't out yet, so it's not a big deal. It'll be better. Cool. Okay, so a couple other videos that I found. Let's see. So okay, so a couple things. So we have Celsus. We have a couple of skills he has here. So Goad, first of all, is attempts to draw the attention of all foes to the caster for 3 turns and lowers the accuracy of all foes for 3 turns. That's pretty interesting, right? Kind of a pseudo version of his ultimate skill. We saw his ultimate skill earlier being that he guarantee provokes all enemies and guarantees gives himself sidestep charges. This is kind of like if you want to play a little riskier, you sometimes provoke them and then sometimes dodge their attacks. There's a triple throw. Deal dagger damage to a random foe 3 times, has an increased chance of being a critical hit. That's interesting. I don't think we ever had like high crit rate moves in Octopath, like the main series games before. We've had like guaranteed crit moves, and like especially COTC, a lot of stuff is like dead aim is like a kind of a buff system or a buff resource that you have to manage. Oh, don't think you can get away from me. Winding throw. I don't care how many frames I have to work with. Oh, it's just an AoE attack that also has a high chance of... Okay, so it seems like Celsus has moves that have a high chance of critting, which as you can see on this one, it did. So if you missed this on the last trailer, we're getting the COTC treatment of skills telling you when they actually crit, instead of just having to guess based on damage numbers, which is really nice, because otherwise it's really annoying. We can see that we had the rank up after recruiting Ludo. You can see the chest with his mastery, because this is the same gameplay, right? So actually we get to see this part of the map too. There's a little thing here. Hold on, wait. There we go. This is the same exact thing, it's just a very low quality. This is more of the same stuff. This is the same exact clips, right, of the... yeah, right. So this is the little gameplay section where they miss 0. You get the incidental heal proc. Wait, does Tressa do anything? I forget. Does she show her stuff? Nope. But you do get to see some stuff like the characters' weapons. Viator's a warrior with a sword and spear. Alexia is a scholar with book and staff. They're just kind of smacking and doing like absolutely nothing because they're not hitting the enemy for weakness. Oh no. Wait, there's one section I know. Oh yeah, okay, so we can see more of Alexia's skills. So here we have Dusk Blight, deal dark damage to all foes 3 times. She has Lightning Bolt, Dusk Fault, Elemental Bash, Analyze, Prey, Lightning Blast, Dusk Blight. So we know Lightning Blast and Lightning Bolt. Dusk Fall and Dusk Blight seem to be the dark elements of them, the dark versions of them. So that's pretty cool. And I just really hope that Elemental Bash is E-Break. I really hope that this this lowers elemental defense. I'm like I'm like traumatized from Octopath 2, where there were exactly 3 things that lowered elemental defense. They were like reusable things that would use them, that could do them. They were Ochet's latent power. They were 1 Hikari learned skill, and then like NPC summons or like beast lore summons, which were like unreliable because they didn't always do it. There was also an item, and like a late game item, that lowered elemental defense, and that was it. Those were the only options you had. So now I'm terrified. Anyways, okay, so focus, raise own physical attack accuracy for 3 turns. You have Twin Bash, deal axe damage to a single foe 2 times, and then Avenging Triple Shot. At the end of turn, deal bow damage to a foe 3 times. More potent, the more hits taken that turn. That's actually pretty cool. So it's kind of like the sword, the War Master sword, the Ars Master sword attack from Octopath 2, but if it was cooler. Basically, Fenn's whole thing is he seems to be like someone that can take hits. He's got Provoke, he's got Stout Wall, and then he can benefit off of that with Avenging Triple Shot. And also he has a skill that gives him a physical attack buff when he attacks, right? So he also has Sweeping Gale, I guess. You can use that to break enemies that are weak to wind, I guess. He has the Strength to Protect, so he gets that passive attack. He also has Eye for an Eye, which might be chance to proc, because we didn't see it proc before. We have Macy, we have Zero, I guess. Zero's just going to use a basic spear attack because they're lame. More of the same stuff. We have the Sandworm Elite. Repeated shot, just a 2-hit. We have allies that we can call. Wait, come back. Deals great axe damage to a foe. Skilled Shipwright. We don't quite. We go to learn skills though, and Fenn's learn skill, we have first shot, deal bow damage to a foe, next attack is guaranteed to be a critical hit. Which is really cool. I have a couple of questions about this. So first of all, we see, is this the one where they use it? I'm gonna lose my mind. So they do use it, and they get a dead aim skill. I think I mentioned that Fenn had a dead aim buff at some point. Yeah, right here, right, ×1. So my question is, it says on the next attack, right? So the question is, does this get used when he uses his Eye for an Eye counter? Because if it does get used, then that's kind of bad. That's kind of like anti-synergy, right? Like you lose the option to get dead aim on a really strong skill by using it on a weak counter. If it doesn't get consumed, but still grants dead aim, like imagine like dead aim buff like makes all your attacks guaranteed to crit, but it gets consumed the next time you use a skill, right? That means that like these off-turn attacks, like the counter, would be guaranteed, would have the dead aim buff, but would not be, would not like tick down the counter, which that would be really cool. It also says that's the next attack, which means that it's not like turn-based, which is good because if it was turn-based, it would suck. You would not get to benefit from it at all outside of the counters, which again, aren't really strong, like they're like weak counters. But being able to like buff their damage even a little bit could help with Fenn's like off-turn damage as being like a counter tank, which I think is really cool. Maybe they actually show it here. Nope, they hate me and want me to die. Oh, we can also see Stia with a sidestep buff. So showing that she probably learned it from maybe Tressa. Tressa might have sidestep. Maybe another character has sidestep. We haven't seen what Prey does yet. I'm kind of curious to see if that's like maybe a support skill. So we see a couple things here. So we see Macy has First Aid, Poisonous Touch, which is Poison Axe. We have Paralysis Formula. We have Expert First Aid, Rest, Twin Bash, Share SP. So that's pretty interesting. We also see that she has a book. So all of you that thought that Apothecaries would be a book axe class, you look to be being correct. Because Macy, Macy has books and axes. Okay, we have some skills. Okay, so they're just looking at the AoE skills. We have Assault. We have Full Swing. Wait, hold. Burst. Oh, no, this is Thea. Sorry, I was thinking about Macy. So we have Chop Wood, where she leaves a chop into her, and then Full Swing, where she leaves the swing into her. They won't let me look at Tressa's skills. I forget. I saw them. I watched some of these videos ahead of time. At least part of these videos ahead of time. More potent. if attacking from the back row. Oh, I didn't notice that. That's actually really cool. So he's kind of got like a... So Roland from the Triangle Strategy collab has a similar effect where when he moves to the front row, he gets a buff called Opportune Strike, which allows his attacks to hit multiple times. So this is cool. I mean, it's a single hit, so like it can't do like too much damage, but this is like a main series game, so the early and mid game qualities of a skill are still going to be important. Helm Cleaver deals physical damage or sword damage to a foe and lowers physical defense for 2 turns. That seems pretty cool. It's not a multi-hit, but this is kind of similar to one of Hikari's learned skills. Spearhead, and then we have the Spearhead skill. Oh, we have some items, so we could see some items. We do see the return of the Energizing Pomegranate. We also see Plum Leaf and Tree Nuts, which are just more SP items. You can also see that you can use items on characters in the back row, so that's pretty cool. I hate you. You hate me in particular, actually. How could you do this to me and ruin the view of being able to see the menu? So we have Collect, Trade Winds, Rest, Trade Tempest, Donate PP. That looks really similar to her Octopath Traveler like 1 skill set, right? Not so much the COTC skill set. So that'll be interesting. We see more of the same stuff. He's using Sweeping Gale because, again, they hate me. And they will never let me know happiness. I believe, yeah, this is just more of the same stuff. Okay, we have the... Oh, cool! So this is the farming. This is the farming system of it. We see that there's broccoli seeds, tomato seeds, you can harvest them. So I wonder, like, what progresses them. You can also, you can collect from the NPC or you can collect manually. That seems pretty cool. Like, it's a way that you can do it manually at the start, and then once you have an NPC running the farm, you can just talk to them and collect them. Oh, that's pretty cool. We have Alexia popping off again. Love a Scholar with 2-hit AoE attacks. Oh, okay, here's the end of battle scene. We can see that they have infinite JP because they hacked everything. They're cheaters. We got a heavy axe from the enemies. We got JP, money. We got a break bonus on EXP, so that's cool. So those are things in the main series games that didn't exist in COTC, I think, really. Was like the end of battle bonuses. Stuff like, you know, breaking an enemy, overkill, domination, not being hit. Right, damageless. And yeah, okay, cool. There's let's see, because I do remember she got the full swing. Here, let's see what else there is. Because a lot of the gameplay is the same, right? This is where they don't have enough JP, so they just go ahead and, okay, do nothing, I guess. This is the surprise foe where they start with the different AoE attacks. Let's see. Steve, oh, this is cool. This is cool. So, with Stia, we can see actually here, she goes down. So we can see that greater distribution is granted ally your... They gave her Teach! No! They gave her Stroke of Genius Teach. They thought it was so cool from Octopath 2 they had to do it again. They didn't realize that shit was ass. Granted ally your attribute raising effects for 5 turns. Oh, wait, actually that's kind of good. So it's all of your attribute raising effects. And then as you boost, it increases the turn duration. It also costs 0 SP. That's pretty cool. So it also shows you how much it scales like with boosts, right? Wait, let's go back. Oh, we don't actually see it, but yeah. So we can see that the number is like bigger and blue because we're max boosted. So 200% of a caster's remaining SP to an ally. So that's like it's using all her SP, and then it's giving it to similar to share SP from Octopath 1. This probably means, I'm going to assume, it's not guaranteed, but I'm going to assume with pretty high certainty that this means that we can overheal SP again, which was useful exactly one time, and it was during my level 1 playthrough of Octopath 1. That was the only time I ever used share SP to any sort of usability. So we have Donate PP on her, we have Stroke of Genius, grant self 2 attribute raising effects for 8 turns. That's actually not bad either, actually. That's kind of better. than what it was in Octopath 2. They kind of like Octopath 2 was kind of ass because it just changed the number of effects that you gave yourself, but they lasted not that long, so and it wasn't good. So making it last for like 8 turns is cool, but it's also 2 random effects, and that still doesn't seem very good unless you can get shit like I don't know, Aelfric's. But also has attribute raising, so it's probably like stat buffs. Anyways, she full swings to the max. Look at her go. Bang. Viator attacks. We see again, actually. Wait. Oh, awesome! They gave us an inspiring plum. Oh my god, I just want to see Tressa's skills again. These are more of the same. This is the same clip. Oh, cool. So here we can actually see the food system, the hub in Wisho, where you can have Fen cook you up some meals. We can actually see the items grant the following effects for the 10 turns. Physical attack plus 5%. Plus 5%! Wait. So they're giving percentages. I wonder... So, restore 10% HP at the end of battle. So I wonder if this is a, like, increase to stats, or if this is a buff in battle, right? Because those are, like, 2 different things, essentially. If you can, like, feed this to a character before a fight... No, this is the following effect for 10 turns. So physical attack plus 5%. So that means that, like, the buffs might have, like, different percentages. But also, the battle skills didn't specify a percentage, right? Like, Fen's... I'm not going back. I can't find it. There's too much stuff to go through. I don't remember where it all was. But Fen had a physical attack buff, right? It didn't specify a percentage. Just specified physical attack and accuracy. So I wonder if these are a direct increase to stats, or if these are just like, you know, the damage multipliers that the typical buffs are. So that could be interesting, because that could be like, basically, that could make food items like really, 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 really strong. Because that means they could stack with your existing buffs. Okay. I think it might have actually been the last one. Whatever. We'll just go through them one at a time.
Look at the first 2 games.
Oh, sorry. We'll keep that muted. Okay, so this is something interesting. So Macy has a passive called Boon of Healing, which we don't know what it does. But whenever she targets this guy, Celsus with healing, it also grants, with first aid, it grants Boon of Healing, which seems to do something, but it doesn't actually show a buff icon or anything like that. It doesn't give him any attributes or anything like that, which means it's possible. And what it does is maybe cleanse him of ailments, which would be really strong. I mean, not like really strong, but it would be really, really helpful to just like patch in like a cleanse ailments button to the healing skills. It'll make it a lot easier to like play around status ailments and all this stuff. So they got that. So that could be cool. Wait a minute. Huh. It charged his ultimate. Maybe it's a turn number thing? Because, oh, no. So he was in the back row. Zero was in the back row, didn't have an ultimate charge, came to the front row, attacked, and then had an ultimate charge. So maybe it's after, it seems to be after a certain number of turns, not after breaking the enemy, like you might assume. So I think we're going to go still with under the assumption that ultimates are charged on a turn basis, but I'm also just holding off on calling anything until after the after we get more information. Twin shot with an axe? That doesn't make sense. We shooting the axe out? Let's see. It's so interesting because all these videos are the same. It's the same gameplay from Square Enix, but cut in different ways, and sometimes showing more different things than others. So I'll go ahead and link all these videos as well in the description. So if you want to watch them yourself, give them a like, a subscribe, maybe something like that. I don't know. Comment down below for them, if you wish to do that. Wait, this time Boon of Healing targeted his partner? Wait, it targeted Stia? Huh. Okay, so maybe it's random. That's weird. Anyways, yeah, you guys can do that. So Radiant Bow Arrow seems to be a damage dealing option. Bang, 2800 damage. Kind of pussy shit, but that's okay. So... Dude, they turned her into a salad? Tress salad? No! What? No, they turned her into food! No! Oh my god! How could they do that? How could they do that? Not Tressa! Okay. I swear to god, they showed Tressa's... Wait. I swear they showed Tressa's skills. I need see them. Okay, so this is the same clip as before. Oh! Ooh, we made it. Okay, so, interesting things, right? This is all basically Octopath 1 merchant stuff, right? Collect, trade winds, rest, trade tempest, donate PP, sidestep, peerless strike. So I have good news, and I have bad news. The good news is, we have a new Octopath Traveler game. The bad news, there's no hired help, and yet to be seen evasive maneuvers. Hired help for Tressa is replaced with Peerless Strike, which we can actually see the description for if we just slow down a little bit. It deals great polearm damage to a foe. So it's not her her trifold stab that she had in Octopath in COTC, but also something to note here is the Alexia has an SP regen passive skill. And she gains SP regen after Tressa's move. So it seems like the bro partners sort of get their end of turn effects after the other one ends as well. So like if a character has BP regen or HP regen, they can still benefit from being in the back row. They're not gonna lose on it just because they're not actively taking turns. So those regen skills are still gonna be valuable, I would say. What do we got? We got more of these guys. Get the strength to protect. I do wonder... Oh, interesting. So Stia actually got that evade physical attack buff on the first turn of battle. So that must be a passive for... That must be one of her passive abilities that she can unlock. It's just gaining starting battle with a physical dodge. So welcome back, Eleonora. And we've seen pretty much everything there. Well, yeah. You just basic attack. Ooh, we haven't seen this before. So we actually do confirm that Talon Strike is a random target skill because it hit the three of them one time each, right? They keep using Assault without coming from the background. That's just so sad. Okay, doesn't seem to be much else. Okay. Let's see what was from here.
Tablet 0.
Oh. Am I on? Yeah. Okay, let's speed through this. Let's see what else they got. It's gonna be a lot of the same stuff. Get moving characters in. Oh, hello. Oh yeah, so you can talk to different characters here. Oh, and they have items. That's cool. So they all have their own maybe little quests to get them involved and get them back into the Wishvale Town, and they all have like their little like background story as well. And you can cook up a tress salad. Tressa salad. And then we have the Ludo quest. Let's see what else there might be here. There, oh yeah, there's the time where they surprised the phone. Yep. Okay. Oh, this is the start of battle. Oh, also, Stia doesn't have it, so maybe it's a chance? So she doesn't always gain the physical attack dodge skill. So maybe, yeah, maybe it's like a chance to give it to her at the start of battle. But yeah, there, we see Tressa's skills again. Divine Speed, Double Throw, Wild, and Wild Blade. Sword damage to random foe 2 times. That's pretty cool. Sidestep is like pretty standard. Oh, hello. Let me see what Divine Speed does. I'm sure it's just a speed buff. They gave Bro Swift Step. Raises his own evasion and speed. Okay, that makes sense. Yep. Yep, and she's using her spells. Max boost that shit. Hell yeah. Send him, Alexia. Okay, cool. Oh, and also poison. Poison also applies to the back row partner. After the front row partner's turn. Okay, more of the stuff. Yeah, this is the same. Okay, cool. Actually, I believe this one as well, they commentate over the first half, and then the last... Oh. The last half they just give us is, like, gameplay. So we can actually listen to some of the new, audio, or... Sorry. we can listen to some of the new music. That's been reviewed that I haven't been able to hear because I've been muting it. We got Thea. She's really excited that everyone is coming to the town. We see this again.
Out for a nearby cave. Octopath Traveler 0 retains the break and boost combat systems at the same.
Yeah.
Since you're dropping in the middle of a complex story setup, and you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so they. Okay, yeah. So here, yeah, we actually see him get the dead aim buff. But we don't get to see him use it. wait, how did that happen? Wait, Stia attacked with a dagger? Wait, did I see that right? Oh yeah, wait, yeah, Stia has daggers. She's daggers and axe. Okay, cool. I'm just wondering when they're done with that so that we can listen to some of the new stuff. More of the same. Oh, we also can see the elite on the mini map here. Actually, I didn't note that before, but yeah, this is in COTC. It's often where the mini map will show you where all the elites are and the chests that they're guarding. So we see that makes a return. They should put Zero in the back row so that he can come out and use Assault for more damage. But that's just, I don't want a backseat. It's their game. They can play it however they want. But they are playing it wrong, and I just want them to know that. So, we have more of the same. Yeah, we can see that. So Stia has daggers and axe as an architect class. Oh, cool. Okay, so they're done. Wait, where's the actual?
Folded his shoulder with its acclaimed predecessors. Octopath Traveler 2 is coming out on December 4th, 2020.
No, it's not.
5 for PS5.
Well,
PS4, Xbox Series.
and Octopath 0 is coming out on December 4th.
Yeah, enjoy.
That's okay. Okay, cool. So let's turn this back to normal so that we can listen to some of the stuff.
Are you ready?
Okay, the gameplay or the battle music goes crazy. Wait, how does the? Oh, which film music is nice? Also, yeah, it looks like all the gameplay was captured on the PlayStation 5. Yeah. The music here is nice. Wait, hold. Oh, this is Decisive Battle 3 or whatever from Champs of the Continent. Like.
Now is our chance.
Yeah, but we can see actually the numbers and even the colors change as you boost. So those numbers, those blue numbers before when we were looking at Stia's skills, are the max boost variant. These are the ×3 boost variants, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so if you haven't played Octopath COTC, you probably don't know this song, but this is a song from COTC being added here, Decisive Battle 3. So that's pretty cool. She's got you.
Allow me. I trust you. Allow me.
You got this, bestie. Ooh, okay. So provoke, attempt to draw the attention of all foes for 3 turns. Talon Strike is, okay, yeah, random foes. Parry? The platypus? Come on. Nullify damage taken from physical attacks 3 times? That's fucking broken. Especially if he can be a tank. I mean, I think it's not anything too crazy. But if it's 3 times at like no boost, then like being max boost probably means that you can get up to 7 times. Nope, that's a lie. 6 times. So that's pretty good. Especially if there's a way to provoke enemies to him that's not on his turn, then you can combo both skills on the same turn. Use the ultimate, use the ultimate, use the ultimate, use the ultimate, use the... No! So first aid... Wait, let's see what else she's got. Oh! Axe damage to a foe and then gain the chance to inflict poison for 2 turns. Okay, so it's like Poison Axe. The turns of poison doesn't scale with boost, and it's still a chance to inflict poison, so it's not guaranteed. Whoa! Twin Shot or Icicle. Oh, as a learned skill, Twin Shot can use any weapon? Come on, go back. Go back. Go back. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to do it frame by frame. Select a weapon to deal damage to a foe 2 times. Interesting. Okay, so this might be different things. Okay, yeah, because we saw the learned skills on Fen that were specifically for bows only. But Twin Shot, it seems like there are certain skills that like will be able to be used with different weapon types, which could have really cool implications of like build crafting stuff. So that's pretty cool. And then she gets Icicle for ice damage, or she gets Twin Shot for axe. Yeah, get his ass.
Let's take him down.
Okay, okay. What sort of items we using here? Oh, just SP maybe? Celsus does need some SP, but he is in the back. Oh! Baskets imply give to the whole party. That's really strong, not just the front or back row. That's really strong. Oh, come on, give my... Oh my god, you won't let her do it. She's literally max VP in the back. How dare you? Send her out. Oh! That was such a... I wasn't prepared for that animation. It just kind of came out of nowhere. Okay, so Elfric's favor, restore HP and cure status summons of the entire front or back row. Defender's Rage, deal massive bow damage to all foes, and then you increase the potency as levels go up. Abers. Wait, what does it say?
My turn.
I mean, it's just Aber's Reckoning, right? Like, if they change the name, I'll cry myself to sleep.
Defending the Huntress.
Okay, it kind of does look like they're like also pointing to their rings, but yeah, it seems like the fact that you gain divine skills as you beat ring bearers sort of holds, because we're at the stage where we're at Master of All, which means we've completed the Master Series. So defeated Titos, Herminia, and August, and the main character Zero has the ultimates for Hunter, Warrior, and Thief.
Come forth.
So
I trust you. Allow me.
evasive stance, Vanguard Spear, which just looks like Spearhead.
I'll pierce you. It's
We actually, evasive stance, is that giving dodges? No, raise on evasion, okay.
I'll pierce you. It's our turn.
Mm-hmm. This looks like the same stuff. Yep.
Win.
Oh, wait.
I thought I was here to offer my shadows.
Why would you not just max boost? Ah! Or like maybe even like ×2 or something. Like I guess you want to maybe break the enemy first.
Crush up.
Okay.
With all my might. Take this. Got it.
Oh my god, look at this. They're gonna set up big damage. I'm gonna lose my mind!
For my knowledge.
Max boost the 2-hit Dark Skill, please. Thank you. Good shit. Dude, Alexia's like already my goat. Okay, I think that's it. So, oh, that's different entirely. I think that's it. So I'm gonna look a little bit to see if anything new came out in the past like 5 seconds. But it looks like everything is either from the time when the game was first revealed to, or it's stuff that I already did, that we already looked at. So let's look at the website real fast before we decide to go ahead and end things up for the day. Okay, cool. So there's nothing new. We can also check on Twitter. Here, let's actually just pull it from the Discord server. There's a couple of things, right? So like there's some things that I didn't decide to make like a full video on because they're just Twitter clips. I didn't like reveal anything new. But basically, if you want to check out the Twitter account for Octopath PR, it's the same account that was working for Octopath 2. If you remember when we were doing those analysis every now and then back then, we were waiting for all the Twitter posts and all that stuff. They show all the different characters, and they actually show some of the music as well. So that's pretty cool. This will show path actions and stuff like that. So if this interests you, I can also link the Twitter account in the description below. Yeah, all the stuff to like check out. But yeah, no, thanks for watching. That's it. Oh god, I've been at this for like 2.5 hours, aren't I? So yeah, you know, I'll see you guys next time there's anything, or whenever I decided to make a video, whatever that may be. All right, see you guys. Bye bye.